Alright, so before I start this video, I want to say sorry for the terrible quality. I don't have any real editing software aside like CapCut. But yeah, I'm just kind of getting started. I did make a Reddit post about this, but I want to pad out this channel a bit more, so I'm going to upload this. And I want to talk about iDubbbz. Now, I'll admit, I wasn't a big iDubbbz watcher back in the day because I was probably a bit too young for his target demographic. I knew of him because he was big, but I wasn't really into it at the time. I liked Frank, but iDubbbz never really got into. But a couple of months later, not a couple of months, sorry, a couple of years later, I did rewatch those old videos and I enjoyed them. They were good videos. He was funny, he was quite clearly, quite intelligent. And I think the content cops especially, which he's now gone back and, humiliated himself and an apology tour for, were good. They called out people who deserved it. But as we all know, he's completely fallen from grace now. He's basically become a lol cow, pretty much. There's not much separating him in my eyes from like Wings of Redemption or Darkside Phil, quite frankly, now. But there are still a group of people who insist that, he just grew up, and if you're upset with where he is now, then obviously you're just an immature, bigoted person who thinks like screaming slurs and being obnoxious is funny. No, that's bullshit, and I want to explain why. It's the most annoying thing that I constantly hear them say, is that what happened to the guy is that he just grew up, stopped making hateful content, and now it's from you, they're just mad because they're hateful. But it's such a bastardization of reality, and let me just quickly explain why here. And yeah, it's normal to grow. It's normal to change as a person as you get older. Everyone's going to do that. I'm probably going to do that. I'm 17 now. Yeah, and by the time I'm his age, yeah, I'll probably be a way different person. But what absolutely and definitely is not normal is to become the complete antithesis of the person you used to be in a span of like less than a decade, right? From 2017 to 2023, that's when he fully went kind of cuck mode, for lack of a better term. He went from an unapologetic free speech absolutist who made dark jokes and made, anti-PC jokes all the time, to the complete opposite of that. A woke, and I hate the fucking term, but, it's the best thing I can really say, a progressive guy who thinks that the very jokes he was making just like 6 years beforehand were actually evil, and that you have to walk on eggshells not to offend people. Or at least walk on eggshells not to offend the people his new internet buddies like Hassan think he shouldn't offend, but still, it's doing such heavy lifting to claim that he just grew up. I saw a YouTube comment, I can't remember who made it, I think it was on the Internet Anarchist video, and it said it best. It's like Batman became the Joker within the span of like 5 years, and when he was confronted just said, oh, what, can't anyone change? It's like, yeah man, people change, but not like this. Do the people who say this, do they just not wonder why the other Cancer Crew guys, they don't get hate? Max and Chad do cold ones, Frank is now Joji, who's obviously a mainstream musician, and neither are Reggie anymore. And what they're doing is way different to what they used to be doing, but they receive basically nothing but support from their old fans because, unlike Ian, they changed in a positive direction. And I'm sure you'll be able to find like 12 absolute basement dwellers saying, oh, he should be Frank again. But like for the most part, the old fans like him. Because again, they moved in a direction that was positive. And Ian himself was close to doing this with the Full Force videos and Ice Cream Man documentaries. People loved those. People actually liked those, and the reception was positive. It was a far cry, but, still. He's only hated now because of how incredibly toxic he's become since then. Oh, and he's not mature either, right? Quite frankly, he's a further string from it. Trying to snake Sam into a documentary that was clearly just supposed to be dunking on the guy, but doing such a piss-poor job that even people who hate Sam admit that he just made Ian look like an idiot that he is now. And then getting so mad about Sam snapping back that he kicked his friend out of a charity event, and backstabbing his former friend Ethan so he could suck up to lefty Twitch streamers who you could fucking tell you see him as a doormat. These aren't the acts of a mature person. They're the acts of a petty, insecure man-child. And it's funny, because in Ian's eyes at least, this is what a generation of teenage boys and perhaps young men see as an example of what happens when you move on from your edgy, right-wing adjacent, whatever the fuck, phase into your, quote, woke left phase. You become a complete loser, a failure, and a joke. So congrats, man. You've done great PR for the people you hate the most. Fucking hope you're happy.